Okay, I'm getting ready to put some putty on the seam here. I have the bow of the ship connected to the main hull, and I have to putty it. And so what I've done is taped around the seam. Just left the seam open here. It's not too bad. And I will apply the putty, let it dry, pull the tape off, do a little sanding, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, the putty is now dry in the seam. All I have to do is sand it down. I also sanded down the bottom of the hull. There was a lot of marks from the molding process on it. I sanded down. And after I sand down the front bow area here where the seam is, I'm going to work on adding the parts back here at the stern of the ship where the rudders and stuff go. And there's also the bilge keels to put on. They go right there where those marks are. Alright, these two keels at the stern of the ship where the propeller shafts are coming out, I have glued them on and sanded them a bit, and now I've used some putty to fill the seams. And when that's all dry, I will sand it again. I put putty on all the spots on the bottom of the hull. And up there at the very front, I think I'm pretty much done with the very bow of the ship. It's all sanded smooth. I'm not trying to make this bottom part of the ship perfect, because it's never going to be seen. But I want it to be decent. Okay. So next step is going to be removing this tape once this putty has set up. And these spots too, and I'll sand all these spots. Nice thing about this Tamiya putty, this is what I use. I use the Tamiya putty. Tamiya modeling putty for plastic. Used for repairing and modifying plastic models. This is not water-based. Interesting, this white putty to a certain extent will dissolve and smooth out with Tamiya extra thin cement. I know, because I've tried it. And once I sand this down and I want to get a kind of a more super smooth finish, I'll use some glue. Sort of brush the glue on it, and it just sort of melts it a little bit more and helps it lay down flat. So anyway, there we go. That's what's done now, and yeah, so gotta let this set up. These twin keels, the stern of the ship, I have filled in all the gaps in the seams with the Tamiya putty. Let them dry overnight. And now it's time to do some sanding and smooth this whole thing out before I go any further. Once I get it all smoothed out, I will then add the rudders. After the rudders comes the bilge keels that go on the sides of the hull here. And once those are in, Let's see, I'm not sure what else we got to put down here. Oh yes, we have to put the excuse me, these supports for the propeller shafts here, and I get those in, get everything all buttoned up and smoothed out and ready to go. Then begins the tedious process of masking parts of the hull to spray the bottom, the hull red, put the water line in, which is black, and then do the battleship gray that has to go on the upper part of the hull. So here we are at this point, and I will get started on the sanding. Here are the rudders. I put them together. There you go, right here. The rudders are in place. The keels have been sanded down. I have the propellers in their supports. Everything left to do now on the hull is put in the bilge keels here on the sides. We're there, right there. So I'm going to find those and glue them in place. Okay, the side stabilizers, known as bilge keels, are on the ship. As I am gluing them, I hold them in place with tape so they line up properly. There's the other one on that side. Towards the stern, we can see everything in place except for the actual propellers. They will go on near the end of the build. So, the ship is coming along nicely. The bow is all completely done. All the seams, areas where these two parts join together, is all taken care of properly. Still debating whether I'm going to drill out these portholes. I don't know. I might. I just wanted to do a bit of a summary here, just to go through the instruction book and show you what I have gotten done so far. I have step 1 is done. That was adding the bow piece to the main part of the hull. Step 2 was adding all the interior hull braces. That is done. Step 3 is adding the deck to the hull. I do not have that done, and as I indicated here in the instructions, that will be later. Step 4 is 99% done. The only thing left to do on step 4 is add the actual propellers. Those will go on, as I indicated here, at the end of the build. The reason for that is I don't want to break them off, and they get painted separately and put on later. And here we see the rudders, the propeller shafts, the keels all done. The bilge keels, or side stabilizers, hull stabilizers, have been added. And then the bow, of course, is all done. So, making good progress here. In the book, the next step, which is 5, they want you to build the anchors, 53 of these little guns, 22 of these, whatever they are, 8 of these cable reels, reel holders, cable reels. And then step 6 is putting 19 of these gun mounts together. And then these baskets that hold the flotation devices. Supposed to make 16 of each size. And then it's we start making some of the winches. And then this thing right there, this G2, G3, I have no idea what that is. And then 4 of these life raft assemblies. Step 8. I'm not sure what that is either. This right here is the crane that moves the airplanes about on the stern of the ship. Pulls them out of the water, places them on the catapult. These cranes are a combination of plastic parts and photo etch, I think. Well, actually, I'm not showing any photo etch here. It's all plastic. I thought there was some photo. Okay, here at the very end of it, there's a bit of photo etch to add right there. Okay, so that's looking ahead. The catapult itself is mostly plastic with some photo etch railing added to the sides. So that shouldn't be too hard to do. So there we go. That's a look ahead. What's coming up next? If I do this next, I might just skip through those and no, maybe I won't. I don't know. What I'm going to do actually next before I go into these steps here is I am going to paint the hull, and once the hull is completely painted, that means the hull red on the bottom, the black waterline, and the upper section of the hull the gray. Once that is all done, I will actually glue the deck on. Then I will go to steps 5, 6, 7, and 8. As in step 3, they want you to put the deck on, but as I said, I'm not doing that right yet. That will, this will go on after the hull is all painted. I know some people, when they're building these ships, they'll put the decks on and they'll paint the hull and the decks as, you know, all together, like tape it off or mask it off or something. That's fine. Whatever works. That's just the way I do it. Okay. Now I have the hull red painted, the bottom half of the ship. And the seam. The seam that was on the bow here to join the bow piece to the rest of the hull. The seam is not showing anywhere, so thankfully I got that sanded correctly, and it came out alright. Can't even tell hardly. So there we go. That part's painted. Next is remove the tape and do the waterline, which is black. And after that, we will start working on the gray of the upper part of the hull. Alright, the tape is off. good look at the job I did on the whole red. Came out alright. There's a few spots where it somehow creeped underneath the tape. But all in all, got it pretty straight. Never mind the overspray. Okay. I'm liking the way this is looking so far. Whoa, that light is bright. Yikes. Yeah, I put the prop shafts in, keeping them metal. Put some tape on the end of them so they don't slip inside the hull, disappear. Okay. Looking alright so far. So I'm doing step 7 now, which is making the 2 catapults. I've got all the plastic parts. Cut off the K sprue. I've got them cleaned up, deburred. Any flash has been removed. And I will start putting it together. Once I get all the plastic parts together, I'll go ahead and get out the photo etch railing that goes on it. It's going to be on the C fret. Looks like there's one that has to be bent. Yeah. Looks pretty simple. Alright, well, let's move on with that. Okay, so the entire hull is now painted. The red is Tamiya hull red. The waterline is Tamiya NATO black. The gray is Tamiya sky gray. XF19, I believe it is. The camouflage pattern is a mix of German gray and NATO black. So I'm now ready to put the deck on top of the hull. So that'll be in the next episode. The painting of the hull and getting it ready is the end of this episode. And, I appreciate you watching, and see you next time.